Our ancestors have always been connected to one another. We're connected to the lands, the water.
Our First Nation was excited when the lands came back.
It was really exciting to partner with the other First Nations.
I would very much so hope that this is the way forward. In 2009, 3 departments, National Defense, Public Works, and Fisheries and Oceans, had over 30 hectares of valuable property in Vancouver and West Vancouver here in British Columbia. This was surplus to federal property needs. We had a legal obligation to consult with First Nations, and as a result, we decided, rather than go as individual departments, to get together and go as Canada. After contacting 17 First Nation groups, 3 responded. The 3 First Nations, Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh, identified these 3 properties as part of their traditional territory.
The land throughout Vancouver and throughout our territory is laden with place names, mythology, resource gathering areas, many thousands of years of history.
Our ancestors were in these lands here since time out of mind. And these lands are not new to us. We've always been connected to all these lands.
Our First Nations always been interested in acquiring the lands because land is so important to survive as a community. It's always been the intention of our past leaders, elders, to acquire the land back so that we have land for future generations and also for the opportunity to succeed as a community for economic development.
The 3 properties consist of Jericho, which is a National Defense property of 21 hectares, located on the west side of Vancouver. The Jericho property was declared surplus in the 1995 budget. National Defense, however, has continued to use the property and will do so until 2017. The Public Works property is 8 hectares, or just over 20 acres, located on the Cambie Corridor. Until last year, it was the RCMP E-Division headquarters for British Columbia. The 3rd parcel was Fisheries and Oceans, a small property of 2 hectares. The Department of Fisheries and Oceans property in West Vancouver is vacant land. The estimated value of these properties through negotiations was $307 million.
These 3 parcels are important because it's taken generations of effort to finally come to fruition where we're able to engage in economic and business transactions outside of treaty within our territories.
Initial discussions were between Canada and First Nations, whereby Canada provided First Nations with 28% of the equity of the property to participate in a business arrangement. They went on to negotiate an additional 22% purchase from Canada Lands Company to arrive at a full 50% partnership with Canada Lands. We started meeting with First Nations in June of 2010 and had a large signing ceremony on September 30th, 2014.
This, to me, represents a new chapter of our history collectively, an opportunity of transformation. The 3 nations coming together represented a lot of strength in how we can really move forward and look beyond whether it's treaty, litigation, negotiation. Negotiations seem to be the best means for us to achieve certainty for us as well as Canada. The outcome of the settlement was seeing the 3 nations come together, engaging in partnerships with CLC, Canada Lands Company, to look at issues of reconciliation in action.
If we weren't working together, we wouldn't have been able to acquire these lands, and that's so powerful. The 3 of our nations coming together and building what is our true identity as First Nations people, because that's who we really are, is working together and helping one another.
I think that even on the federal side, the deal wanted to get done, and it was a partnership.
The Squamish Nation has always been in the business of regaining our rightful place back in our traditional territory, regaining our land base back so that we can once again thrive in our traditional territory economically, but also culturally and socially.
There's no words to explain how effective and important these lands are going to be for our future generations.
The potential is huge. We'll be working along with the other First Nations and the Canada Lands Company to get the best use of that land. Hopefully the return and success is going to be huge for all three First Nations.
I think the potential in terms of the 3 properties is really going to be based on the relationship we build with the City of Vancouver and the local municipalities to ensure that we really come out with a win-win for everybody.
As we move forward with rezoning, with community engagement, as we start phasing the developments, I'm very excited at the prospect of what can be built together on these parcels and the long-term value that will be created for the local economy, but also to showcase this on what can be done by working together.
We're not there to take over Vancouver. We're not there to disrupt those lands, abuse the lands. We're there to make the most out of them for everybody, not just our people. And I commend Canada for allowing this to happen at this point in time.